Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be testing out the Munin in T5 Dark. We've got a fit here. We're using dual B-type medium armor pairs, a fit of 720 million ISK, a little bit on the expensive side, but we're also doing T5 Darks, which are pretty profitable sites. So we'll test this out. We unfortunately failed previously with the Cerberus. It was due to not having enough application, and we've also previously not had enough capacitor. This ship has both of them. It's got inherent explosion velocity bonus, and then it's also got web, the increased application, and then we've got 2 cam batteries, so it's going to give us plenty of capacitor resistance. Okay, so we'll multi-fit this. Oh, actually, I think we might have already done it. We'll check this out. Munin T5 Dark. Okay, let's grab the chaotic dark filament. Buy 2 of them maybe. And hopefully we'll be able to get through this. Chaotic, dark. And then we'll also put some basic boosters as Exile, Synth, Exile, and Hard Shell. This is good because it boosts our armor pairs also. And then we'll put a Crash booster because these are great to have as well for increased application if we were to need it. Okay, let's go into the Abyss. This ship, I feel like it addresses the downsides of the Cerberus. Has also a good resist profile, so we'll tank the Angels no problem. The only worry I have is that we will have DPS issues because we don't have at all as much DPS as the Cerberus does. And we have much less DPS. If we look here and go with this, put Caldari Navy, we have 600 DPS. There's not a whole lot of DPS. Renova Rage, 688, so it's a bit better here, but it's still not as much as the Cerberus. The Cerberus is superior in terms of its DPS. So we'll start off with Caldari Navy Rage, or Caldari Navy Heavy Assault Missiles. Great thing about the tank here is also that we've got the Reactive Armor Hardener, so we can adapt depending on situation. So I think we will be able to get through this, but only tests will tell. I think in terms of survivability, this will have a better shot than the Cerberus, but in terms of getting stuff killed quickly, I'm a bit hesitant because we're also, due to the fact that we are limited on DPS, I've got a Bayloading Accelerator, and this is making it so I'm not having an application ring, so I could have a Regal Catalyst here. And the Cerberus I previously used did have a Regal Catalyst. So, in a way, it's got actually, these missiles have got a bigger signature or explosion radius than the Cerberus. However, it's got a lot better or faster explosion velocity than the Cerberus because of this bonus here, and this is actually going to benefit us, I think, more in the dark side because everything goes around really quickly, so we'll have a lot faster explosions being able to catch the enemies. We'll see. Abyssal launch site, let's go. We also have more drones, I believe. I think we've got 5 drones. The Cerberus has 3. So that's a bit of a downside because a lot of our drones miss in the dark side. The damage which usually hits are the missiles, and the missiles is what do less damage in this ship. You compare it to the Cerberus. Let's use the filament and get to work. Oh, we've got lots of boosters because I actually must have fitted some in the fit. Let's see, okay, so we've got a bunch of Ephialtis. Should be easy pickings. If we go with Nova Rage. Confuse is what we want to take out first. We'll go towards the Bi-Adaptive, I think. Bi-Adaptive and deploy drones as well. Important. Let's start shooting. A good thing with the Munin is that it's not got a range bonus, which is quite wasted when you're in the dark side because you're going to anyway be fighting very close to you since you're not going to be able to apply much without Webifier. Okay, let's see now. Are we able to apply to him? Oh, we're hardly applying anything to these confusers. 200 volley? That's really little actually. Why does it feel like everything is applying so bad recently? Is it because we're suddenly getting a lot of, like, you could say, tracking or guidance disruptors on us, or just piloting wrong? I don't know what it is. Like 100 volley, that's a catastrophe. That's like half our DPS, more than half our DPS, because we've got 1600 volley. We should be able to fully apply to these Ephialtises. Really stupid. Let's recall drones. Let's use the second armor repair. Doesn't seem like we have a choice really. Have to use Caldari Navy all the time. If we were to have dual webs, it would have been so much better. Then it would be no problem. But with single webs, not a good experience. We get full application now. What volley do we get? 500? We get 500 volley. It's almost like mandatory to use dual webs in the dark side, actually. I mean, it makes sense because there are very many waves that go very fast in the dark side, but it's very demanding on your ship to use dual webs because you're sacrificing 2 mid slots to application. And these mid slots do nothing but increase application. You don't have to at all think about this on, say, for example, Aguila. 2 of those mid slots are used for tank instead. Here we have to sort of focus on the application. And I think that we would be very well off with the second web, but I worry about the capacitor. This is like a cat and mouse game. There's always something that you want to have, but you lose by that extra slot that they're requiring you to fit. Because dual webs will solve all our problems in terms of application. Just the problem is the tank. I'm not sure how we would do that. I mean, we can always just remove the medium cam battery, but we get 4 gigajoules to spare. It doesn't look at all particularly safe. Especially if we encounter something like a Cinnabal wave, then we are toast. We are absolutely toast. I mean, what one could do is perhaps do a second web. This feels very slowly. Like the killing here is so slow. If we do like this, remove this damage module and put a capacitor control circuit. Medium capacitor control circuit. And then we get 16 gigajoules to spare, which I guess is okay. But it's still, I mean, we're not got a second cat battery, so we're not going to get that really great capacitor neuting resistance that we do with 2 cat batteries. It's a really great reason to have 2 cat batteries. We get so much capacitor resistance, and they give so much capacitor in heavy assault cruisers as well. Go for this escort. Come on, take him out. Take those scrubs out. Yeah, I can really tell this is very slow. Because I've previously used the Munin with 2 webs, and that was very nice. The problem I had there, though, was the tank. But I was in T4 Dark only using Tech 2 armor pairs. But also, not only the tank, but also the capacitor. I think it was even more the capacitor. That could be solved by going with a capacitor control circuit. I mean, you could always fix it like that. It's just annoying that we've got only 3 rig slots, so you can't provide any extra DPS. Sort of stuck with those 3 modules in the low slots, providing extra DPS. Ooh, Hornet's taking a bit of damage. Need to recall them. It's like a snail's pace to take out these frigates. How would one do this? How would one do this so that it goes well? Because if you want to do this, you need to, with dual webs, you need to be an armor-based ship, or you need to have a shield ship with a ton of mid slots. It's hard to have so many mid slots that you're able to have a decent shield tank and have 2 webs at the same time. And have not completely crap capacitor. Because you can always have 2 webs, but then you're going to have really bad capacitor because you're very likely going to have bad cat batteries or none at all even. Cerberus doesn't have a whole lot of mid slots. I mean, it does have a lot of mid slots because it's a Caldari ship, but there are Caldari ships that have more mid slots. Yep, look at that speed. Very bad. Very, very bad. Even though this ship is made for application with that explosion velocity bonus, still not enough. Still not enough. Oh, I hope we can get through this and not have to lose another semi-expensive ship. Oh, come on now. Maybe if we move a little bit to the side, it'll be better. Take out this Firewatcher. Keep at range. Okay, now recall the drones and reload, and we're probably at 7 minutes. Yep, 7 minutes. If we continue like this, we will die, and this is a very standard wave. Sleeper cruise is like, it's usually not at all a wave to think about. Okay, let's see how this goes. Have we got... Oh, there's a mass neuting wave as well. But it shouldn't be a problem because we've got lots of capacitor resistance, but it's just still annoying to see so many newts. Never usually want to encounter this many. Come on, take care of those that confusers so we can get through the other ones. Go for the Scylla Tyrannuses because I think they go a bit quicker. Just pop this by adaptive. Open this up. Okay, great. We're actually able to tank this, considering we're only using one armor repair. We could always use a second one and get extra tank. Then we'll use a lot more capacitor as well. You can see our capacitor is reducing even though we've only used one capacitor, or armor repairs. This shows how much neuting they're doing. But it shouldn't be too bad, we'll get through it. Oh, that drone is really taking a beating. Okay, we're soon done with this wave. 5 NPCs left. We're approached like 3 minutes on this wave. It's okay, but we got 10 minutes left. Hopefully we get a decent wave in the last one so that we can survive and get out of here, because this does not at all feel comfortable. We need to go in with dual webs. Dual webs is what we need. The only problem is the capacitor. If we ditch this explosive armor reinforcer, we could put a rig or some DPS rig perhaps. But the problem here is then that we will have really bad explosive resist. We'll get annihilated by Cinnabal and Triglavian waves. Go towards the transfer conduit so we're in range to be able to jump the moment we've destroyed them all. Maybe deploy a few drones as well to aid a bit. Oh, this is taking now a bit of time. We've got 7 or soon 8 minutes, or 8 minutes and soon 7 minutes left. Okay, recall drones and reload. Let's speed run this last room. Application seems to be the general concern when we're using one web. It feels almost like a death sentence to use a single web in the dark side, so at least in high tier. Maybe it's not in low tier, it's fine. Oh, Charybdis, this usually takes a bit of time to do. What have we got here? Null warp, null charge. Okay, we'll go for null charge. And we'll activate second armor repair just in case. Orbit Charybdis at 500. And go for these guys. And use drones as well, it's important. The reason I used the dual armor repairs because we're going to take a lot of brute force DPS from Charybdis, because Charybdis will hit hard. But when we're orbiting, it'll be no problem. Okay, take him out. And now for this one, we've got Blue Cloud actually, so this is a bit in the application. We can even switch over to Nova Rage. I think we will be able to apply if we've got Blue Cloud going on. Our drones, however, are getting applied to too much by that even automatic suppressor, so we do not want them out. Recall them. Thank you very much. Yeah, we get some decent hits in the Scylla Tyrannos. 700 volley. Ooh, 1600 volley. We're getting full application. That's good to see. But it's all because of the blue cloud. We can't always assume a blue cloud is there to get like a reliable test, but it's still worth noting that you can always get a bit of a speed boost when you're using a blue cloud. Just don't always count them on being there, because they're not always there. Only in certain situations, depending on your RNG. There's my adaptive cache as well, we should get that. Can lock this up. Maybe land a little volley here on the biadaptive. There we go, now I can deploy drones again because they seem to have regenerated their shields. See what's in that biadaptive. It's a good thing it's a medium range steam automatic suppressor, so their shields just go down ever so slightly. If it's a short range, their shields would have gone down very fast, just in a blink of an eye almost, and then probably their armor would have died as well very quickly. Oh, never mind. It was a chaotic dark. It was a chaotic filament, so I was thinking it's going to be a lot of ISK, but it was not. T5s usually are expensive if they're not the Firestorm or Dark Filaments, which it was. You can see we've both got the Firestorm and Dark Filaments. Both of them have been the ones we got here. Or was it Firestorm or was it Dark? I think it was actually Firestorm we got, because this Dark I already had my cargo hold. You see this 1500 damage, that's full application with Rage. Before, without the blue clad, we were able to apply only partial damage with Caldari Navy. Not a good sign. Needs better application. How much time do we have left? 3 minutes, okay. And we're soon through Charybdis' shield, so we'll make it. Very likely we'll make it. And no problems with the tank as well, because Charybdis doesn't apply anything when we're up close like this. But initially when we were approaching before, that's when Charybdis applies, and that's why I use those 2 armor repairs then. Now he's in structure, so it's very little time to take him out there. Go to the origin conduit. Okay, great. We survived. Now let's see if we survive the exit of the gate as well, because there's always the risk of gankers. Always the risk of gankers. I wonder what's the status of abyssal gankers nowadays, because I haven't seen them for a long time, and we do see right here. We can't really do much for this, apart from, yeah, just going or facing them. We're going to get destroyed. Let's take him out. Try to take him out. We can't even apply anything. And we'll let them destroy our pod, because our pod is blank. That's unfortunate. So we still die again in T5 Abyss, but this time not to the NPC, but due to the ganks. But this is the result of what happens if you do this stuff in high-sec. I mean, it's not uncommon. And there was not much we could do about it, because this fit was not at all anti-gank in any shape or form. So that's it. Quick T5 Munin test. So it went alright, needs better application, and also perhaps some gank proofness as well, if we want to do this in these regions of space. Otherwise we would need to venture out further from G to be able to run these smoothly. So it was fun. We at least got through it, and a little bit of excitement in the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, or hope you at least learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.